Come, let's sing Jesus, 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 let's sing an everyday children's way.
Hey there, friends! It's Hump Day! It's Wednesday, which means we have a few more days before we hit Friday. It's in the distance, kind of. So all this week, we've been talking about the spooken things of God, things that God has spoken through other people of the Bible. And Monday, we talked about the Hebrew midwives and how God speaks through His servants. We also talked about yesterday how God speaks through a mother, specifically Moses' mother. And today, we want to talk about something that's really interesting. Did you know that maybe if you were walking down the road and you heard a voice from a bush, it's probably not God. But did you know there was a time where Moses, after he was raised up in the Egyptian palace and time passed on, Moses actually ended up running away from Egypt. He ran away because he did something really bad and he didn't want to get in trouble with Pharaoh. So he went into the wilderness and he was 40 years old by this time, and he spent 40 years in the wilderness away from Egypt. So by the time he would have come back to Egypt later on, he'd have been 80 years old. But did you know while Moses was out in the wilderness, he found this place where he could stay and he could take care of sheep. And he actually met his future father-in-law, met eventually his wife, and they were married. And we find that Moses one day stumbled upon this bush. And this bush wasn't like any other bush because this bush was on fire. Do you know what fire does to things? Well, if you touch it, it hurts. But do you know what fire does to things? Like, say you were burning a piece of wood. Would it burn the wood up completely and turn it into ashes? Yeah, it would do that. But what Moses saw was that this bush wasn't burning. I mean, it was burning, but it wasn't burning. Does that make sense? Moses saw that there was fire all around and on this bush, but the fire wasn't burning this bush. And that really caught Moses' interest, and he walked along and he looked at the bush when suddenly he heard a voice, and it was the voice of God. And God had something very important to tell Moses through this bush. But before we talk about that, let's go sing a song with our friend Paul, and I'll see you in a few seconds. Let's go sing.
Sing Christian songs with Paul.
Thanks, E.T. Hey kids, would you like to sing another Christian song? How about Sing and Be Happy? If the skies above you are gray, you are feeling so blue. If your cares and burdens seem great all the whole day through, there's a silver lining that shines in the heavenly land. Look by faith and see it, my friend. Trust in His promises grand. Sing and you'll be happy today. Press along to the goal. Trust in Him who leadeth the way. He is keeping your soul. Let the world know where you belong. Look to Jesus and pray. Lift your voice and praise Him in song. Sing and be happy today. Great job, kids. We'll see you next time.
Hey there, friends! You did a wonderful job, so beautiful singing with our friend Paul. And Paul, as always, friend, you sang beautifully with our friends. Thanks, friends. Thanks, Paul. Now, when we left, we were standing in front of a fiery bush. We were standing with Moses and looking at Moses, looking at this fiery bush, and we were looking at Moses, looking at this bush, and we were like, what? And he's like, what? And we're all like, what? But God was like, Moses. And Moses was impressed, and he said, here am I. And he knew that God was talking to him. Now, what God told Moses was the place that you're standing on here is holy ground. And Moses had to take off his sandals, and God had to explain to Moses, I've heard the affliction and the cries of my people. I've seen how they've been oppressed. Basically saying, I've seen how the Egyptians have been really mean to the Israelites, and I've had it. And I'm about to send you, Moses, to go speak to Pharaoh. Now we're going to stop right there because Friday we'll talk about how God speaks to us through Moses as well. But think about it. How does God speak to us, or how has He spoken to us through the bush today? Did you know that maybe life has given you a couple of hard days? You know how you wake up and you're really happy and something happens, whether it's from your friends or something through life, or you just feel really sad that day. Did you know that God sees what you're going through? You know what the bush tells me more than anything, not only does the ground that I stand on is a place where God sees and knows where I am, but God also sees beyond where I'm standing. He sees all the problems that I'm going through in this life, and He has a plan to deliver me. You know, ultimately, Moses ended up helping the children of Israel just like God had told him to, and God took the Israelites out of Egypt and delivered them from their problems. Friends, if the bush tells us anything today, it's that God knows our problems, and He will come through with His promises. Now that is a spooking story that I most definitely love. I don't know about you, but that's definitely a God I want to serve. Now friends, that's all the time that we have today. Let's go work on our memory work, and I'll see you next time. Let's go. Hey there friends! So our memory work this week comes from Romans chapter 15, verse 4. That's Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. Now until Friday, we'll say the verse once together, and then I want you to say the verse back to me. Are you ready? Let's go. For whatsoever things were written before were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the Scriptures might have hope. Now I want you to say the verse to me. Are you ready? Go ahead. You did a fantastic job. That was even better than yesterday. Now keep on working on your memory work, and by Friday, you'll know this like a mastermind. So until next time, friends, see you later.
Come, let's sing Jesus, 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 let's sing an everyday children's way.